everyone, welcome to Inside the Park for March 2010. I'm Misty Lewis. Today we're here at Empty Bowls, a fundraising event for STEP.
I'm Jamie Zwilling, and STEP is the St. Louis Park Emergency Program. The Empty Bowls event has been hosted here at the Rec Center for many years. Hundreds of artists donate their materials. Local vendors donate the food and beverages, and volunteers serve and clean up. A huge crowd comes to make a free will donation for STEP and share a simple meal of soup and bread.
Hunger is still present in our community today, and STEP helps over 2,000 people each month. It's really special to see everyone pulling together to help STEP help others.
Absolutely. We'll also have some musical highlights from today's event coming up a bit later. But first, let's take a look at what you'll see on today's program.
We will see horses dragging diseased trees out of Westwood Hills Nature Center.
Asset Champion Man, Perri the Pushpin, and more highlights from the Children First annual meeting.
And some home remodeling fair highlights, but first, St. Louis Park news.
The United States Environmental Protection Agency and the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency are trying to find out if soil vapors are present in the area of the Riley Tar and Chemical Superfund site near Louisiana Oaks Park. The EPA is contacting residents for permission to test the air below the slab, the space under the basement floor. The test will help the EPA determine if any chemicals of concern are present in the soil gases under the site and if they are accumulating under buildings. As part of the Superfund cleanup process, the city built 2 carbon treatment plants to assure the water supply would meet all required health standards. The testing is similar to the soil vapor testing in the Elmwood neighborhood in 2008, and it does not affect the city's drinking water.
The city's 3rd annual tree sale is underway. The city partners with Tree Trust to provide affordable trees for residents to reforest their yard. The trees cost $35 each and come in a 10-gallon container, so they'd cost well over $100 at retail prices. The city subsidizes the cost of the trees through grant funds. There are 200 trees available with a limit of 3 trees per address. It's a good opportunity to add diversity to the urban forest, since 5 tree species make up about 70% of the city's private tree canopy. With emerald ash borer spreading in Minnesota, it's critical to start planting tomorrow's trees today. Trees are ordered and paid for in advance through the Tree Trust website and will be distributed on Saturday, May 7th.
For the 2nd year in a row, St. Louis Park received parks funding from Hennepin County's share of the sales tax used to build Target Field. The city will receive $200,000 for improvements at Rotary Northside Park at Louisiana Avenue and Cedar Lake Road.
Our first feature takes us to Westwood Hills Nature Center, 150 acres of wood, restored prairie, and marshland.
And if you've ever hiked that 3-mile trail around the park, up and down all those hills, you know exactly how big it is.
And the visitors at Westwood in late February had an unusual sight: loggers and horses taking out those trees they cut down.
We log with horses, and our main purpose is kind of hiring. When you hire horse logging, you're kind of hiring the surgeons of the forest, so to speak. Everything's got its place, and in certain situations, the more delicate work you want, the more you want to create less damage when you're working in the woods, and the horses do a great job of that. In this situation, we're working in this pine thinning here, and the trees are so tight that you really can't get a lot of machinery in here, and if you did, you do a lot of damage to the residual trees or the trees that are still here. So the city hired us to come in and work through trees that they had marked. The trees that they had marked were diseased trees, had some bugs in them, and they wanted to get them removed before they took over the whole stand. So we're cutting them and then pulling them out with the horses, and then the city's taking them down to the biomass plant to burn. Horse logging is only half of this program. The other half is directional felling, the ability to put a tree down where you want it. And I teach horse logging and directional felling, so that's the other thing we do, is we set up programs and do a lot of teaching too.
And you work them hard, it looks like.
Yeah, well, they work me hard too. So the logging horse is very unique. Just like people, horses have personalities, and a logging horse has to have that personality. Kind of like some people like football or some people like certain things. Well, horses kind of are that way too, and they've got to have it in them to be in the woods. And when they are, they're just great to work with.
Welcome back to Inside the Park at Empty Bowls. Make a donation to STEP and you get to take one of these handmade ceramic bowls with you. They're creative with lots of style.
You'll also get to listen to nearly continuous music while you eat your lunch or dinner. Now let's cross the street to the Park Nicollet Melrose Institute, which hosted the Children First annual meeting on March 1st.
Children First is all about building assets in youth, and this year's co-chair is Park High School student Kelsey Reed. This year, Maggie's Farm Theater Company read excerpts from Seed Folks, and Kelsey provided the group with discussion questions from the readings.
They could usually get a spot near people they knew. One Saturday, when the garden was at the fullest, I was bent over and I stood a moment to straighten my back, and what did I see? On one side, the blacks were planting. On the other side, the whites were planting. And the Central Americans and the Asians were toward the rear. The garden was a copy of the neighborhood. I guess I shouldn't have been surprised. A duck gives birth to a duckling, not a moose.
Sam's neighborhood has their lot. As citizens of St. Louis Park and people devoted to its success and its youth, we have this entire city to work with. So our next question is our lot of St. Louis Park big enough for everyone? And what can we do to make sure we welcome and include people from all backgrounds in our garden, and we prevent those things like the barbed wire, like the keep out signs, and we make signs that say all are welcome, and we really act on that.
To showcase that we care, that they may grow into something bigger.
And you can see what I wear every day. Every smile. Smile. Wow, that's part of my life.
In my mind for some reason about a lot of places
Mayor Jeff Jacobs was there as asset champion man, along with the new sidekick, Perri the Pushpin.
Why, yes, we're here to celebrate Children First annual meeting, and they've been talking about Seed Folks and the community building and all that good stuff.
That is so great. I love that book. I also love that my first impression of this wonderful community is here with all these people. And in celebration of the Seed Folks, I have a gift for each of them before they leave. I brought some Perri Winkle seeds for them to spread throughout the community. And don't forget to friend me on Facebook. My name is Perri P. Pushpin. And if you want to get my attention, just poke me. On Facebook.
Sorry. You're talking to a guy whose son the other day asked him why he couldn't get the little black CDs in his closet to go into the computer. I told him because they're 45s. Please don't put them in the computer. So I'm not real familiar with this stuff. I get it. Now you have a wonderful time roaming around St. Louis Park. Ladies and gentlemen, Perri P. Pushpin.
Have you heard of the Citizens Academy that's starting March 22nd? You'll get an insider's view of police operations and learn about elections, voting, and issues facing St. Louis Park. Presenters include Community Ed Director Lisa Green, Police Chief John Luce, City Manager Tom Harmoning, and other city and school district leaders. Registration is handled by Community Ed.
It takes a ton of volunteers to feed everyone at this event, so thanks for making it happen.
And speaking of crowds, there was a great turnout at this year's West Metro Home Remodeling Fair.
Over 100 vendors were on hand, and the focus this year was, come one, come all, no project too small. The Remodeling Fair is always free and a great place for do-it-yourselfers to get ideas, inspiration, and information.
I had the opportunity to record 2 seminars, how to tile a kitchen backsplash and new trends in interior design. Look for them on Park TV and on www.parktv.org.
West Metro Home Remodeling Fair. At the 2011 Home Remodeling Fair, we have over 100 exhibitors. We have architects, landscape architects, master gardeners in our Idea Center that will sit with people and give them one-on-one consultations for their homes. We have seminars, everything ranging from how to transform your garage into a man cave to kitchen backsplashes and ceramic tile. If you've never been here before, please come on down. Absolutely everything is free. People are waiting for you to come so they can visit with you. You'll leave with tons of knowledge and some great ways to get started doing it yourself on remodeling your home.
In the next few weeks, details will be released for this year's home remodeling tour starting May 1st.
We'll share those details on an upcoming park update.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next month.